Welcome to Heart of Economy. Close your eyes, the calendar shows 2030. The world economy is in the midst of perhaps the greatest upheaval in human history. Currencies are losing value one after another. Central banks are on the brink of losing control. And in the mind of the person on the street, there is only one question. What will protect my wealth? Now, you have two choices in your hands. In one palm, the heavy gold bar trusted for thousands of years throughout history. And in the other hand, the invisible, yet globally talked about digital key, Bitcoin. This is not just an investment choice. This is the decision that will define the money of the future. This is the answer to where the economic system will evolve. Today, we open the gates to the greatest financial war in history, gold or Bitcoin, which will be the true store of value in 2030. And behind this war, is there another game we are not being told about? Gold, not just a metal, but the longest story humanity has ever written. Empires rose, kingdoms were built, paper money was printed, markets flooded, and then they all collapsed and were forgotten. But gold always survived. For 5,000 years, gold has meant not just wealth, but power. In every war, every crisis, every economic collapse, people run to it for safety. Even today, central bank vaults are filled with gold. Gold is not just an investment, it's a mechanism of trust. But for some, gold is something more, not the insurance of the system, but its chain. Because there is one undeniable truth, as long as gold stays in the hands of central banks, the fate of wealth remains in the control of those in power, not the people. As we approach 2030, this question grows louder. Can gold still hold this power in the digital age? Or is humanity preparing to break a chain that has lasted thousands of years? Or maybe the real plan is to tighten that chain even more, not with gold, but with digital links? Bitcoin, an idea nobody took seriously in 2009. But maybe that day, the biggest shift in financial history began silently. It belongs to no state, no central bank can print it, and its supply is not infinite. Only 21 million will ever exist. This scarcity has made Bitcoin the gold of the digital age. But there is another dimension to this story. Is it truly free or is it planned? Some economists say Bitcoin is the symbol of financial freedom, money liberated from the grip of governments. But some theories are far darker. Bitcoin is the biggest social experiment ever created to accelerate the transition to digital money, eliminate physical cash, train people to accept digital chains, and then take control. The US announcing its Bitcoin reserve policy in 2025, corporations filling their treasuries with Bitcoin. Is this truly a free market, or the silent steps of a global game? Heading into 2030, Bitcoin will either bring humanity freedom or become the biggest financial trap in history. Predictions for 2030 are igniting the biggest debate in financial history. On one side are those who believe Bitcoin will replace gold. Cathie Wood's reports project Bitcoin could price $1 million. For her, this isn't just a price prediction, but the transformation of the reserve currency in a digital era. On the other side are the skeptics. Some analysts argue Bitcoin is a bubble, that governments will never allow such a system in the long term. Calling it the greatest financial experiment in history, critics believe Bitcoin may fade away by 2030. And in the middle are those seeking balance. Investors like Ray Dalio suggest a hybrid system where gold and Bitcoin coexist. Physical gold will preserve the past, while Bitcoin becomes the harbor of the digital age. But Dalio's key warnings is striking. Who will hold the power? Governments or individuals? This is the darkest part of the story. This war isn't for investors. It's for nations, central banks, and the global elite. For centuries, gold has been their true source of power. Whoever holds the gold holds control, but Bitcoin disrupts this game because Bitcoin is in no vault. It belongs to no one. The US Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Plan, digital funds, and states like Texas, central banks quietly accumulating Bitcoin. This could be the signal of a new world order. Some analysts say the post-dollar world is being prepared. Gold is too old. Bitcoin will be the foundation of the new system. But another theory is far more disturbing. This is not Bitcoin's freedom. It's a plan for total capture. Raise its price. Grow the system. Pull everyone inside. Then centralize the control. By 2030, this war won't just be between gold and Bitcoin. It will be between states and people, between control and freedom. Scenario 1. Bitcoin soars in value, surpassing the $1 million mark. Central banks build Bitcoin reserves, pushing gold's historic power into the background. A new financial system is built on the foundation of blockchain, but this new order comes with a price. All wealth is now transparent on the chain. Does this transparency bring trust or an invisible financial surveillance system? Perhaps humanity wakes up inside the greatest illusion of freedom in history. Scenario 2. The return of gold. Bitcoin falls victim to heavy regulation. Some countries impose bans and prices cash hard. Investors rush back to the safe haven, gold. Gold maintains its 5,000-year tradition and physical value regains importance. Bitcoin becomes a tried and forgotten financial experiment in history. This could also reflect humanity's instinct to return to its roots, even in the digital age. Scenario 2. Two powers side by side. By 2030, gold and Bitcoin coexist. Physical gold continues to serve as the trust mechanism of central banks. Bitcoin becomes the independent store of value for individuals in the digital era. But this balance is fragile. A small geopolitical crisis or cyber attack could shake the entire system. The real question in this scenario: can the two worlds truly live together long term, or will one slowly consume the other? Scenario 4. Hybrid control. Neither does gold completely disappear, nor does Bitcoin remain fully free. Central banks launch their own digital currencies while integrating Bitcoin into the system. Gold reserves become the trust source behind these new digital currencies. This is a world where humanity tries to manage both its physical past and digital future simultaneously. But will this order be truly free or the dawn of a fully centralized financial era? By 2030, we will see the answer. Gold or Bitcoin? Perhaps both. But one truth remains: the decisions you make today will define the wealth of tomorrow. Gold, the 5,000-year trust. Bitcoin, the hope of the digital age. Which will you trust? Which side will you choose? At Heart of Economy, we are already talking about the economy of the future. Write your thoughts in the comments. You will shape the future of this debate. And for more future scenarios and deeper financial analysis, subscribe. Because here, we are not just telling the news. We are writing the economy of the future. And maybe we are debating the fate of wealth itself.